Hi, I'm Cindy.
And I'm Dave.
We're glad you're here.
Thanks for checking out Kotaku Bonsai. Good morning, my bonsai friends. Hope you're having a great day. It's a nice morning so far. And I've got this ginormous pear tree. This is a ornamental pear, Cleveland Select to be exact, and it's a Bradford pear tree. I dug this up somewhere near Philadelphia, I believe, and I brought it home, and it's been in this pot for the last couple years, regaining some vigor after being uprooted. And today we're going to do a little slip potting because I want to, again, advance the tree to the next stage, reduce the roots just a little bit, and prepare for this time next year when we do a big trunk chop. I was hoping to see some flowers coming off of it this year. I don't think we're going to get that luxury, but we're going to slip this into a nice little plastic pot, which I have here. It's fairly large. I got this at Bucks County Bonsai outside of Philadelphia. Mr. Scott White is a great guy. If you've never been, you should give him a shout and go check out what he's doing there. Cindy and I paid a visit to him last year, and I brought that pot home specifically for this guy right here. I'm going to show you a little up close on this tree, and then we're going to do some root work and get it into that pot. Here is our project of the day. Leafing out nicely. It's the end of March. Now, typically when I bring trees home that I've dug up, I tend to leave them on the tall side. A lot of folks online have been talking about just trunk chopping right at the time that you bring it home and save the tree further stress down the road. So I'm trying that, and if you haven't seen my recent video with an oak that I did a massive trunk chop, check that out. This is a bit of an experimentation for me. I'm trying to learn something new perhaps and compare and contrast successes and failures on particular trees that I'm working on. So I'm going to show you a little bit in more depth about where my thought process is there. Now here's the oak tree that I chopped last week. And you can see it is a huge stump. And I trunk chopped that just a few days after I brought it home. This one, being the pear tree, I've left it alone and I've left it tall for the last few years. I'm going to show you two other ones. And these are two flowering cherry trees that I brought home late last year. Again, I've left these tall. I haven't trunk chopped them, but I certainly will have to at some point. And so with these different methods, I'm trying to kind of scientifically and methodically work through the process so that I can see where I've succeeded and where I've failed and try to hone in on the strategy that works more often than not. For now though, I'm just going to make a few cuts down at the base to remove some of those suckers, and then we're going to get it out of the pot and trim it up a little bit, slip it into the new pot. This guy's pretty heavy. So here's our makeshift potting bench for the day. And I'm going to just tip this down here. And just slide it right on out. Like that. There's some really nice, healthy root tips. You can see the soil's fairly heavy. It's more clay-based. But there's some really nice growing tips through there. We want to try to preserve those and work some of that clay soil out from there, trim down the roots so it'll fit in that pot. Now sometimes this happens where you get in a little over your head. I've been working on the roots and getting a lot of the clay soil out, which is great. It lightens up the tree. It's going to have, we're going to give it some better soil so that the roots can develop even more nicely. But the mass of roots here at the bottom is just too big yet to fit in this pot. So I'm going to get out the chainsaw and take out some of these larger roots and really shave it down, and in hopes of getting it into the pot. And so I've made a gigantic mess. And there's what I cut through so far. Took about 25 minutes and 2 chainsaw batteries. I'll show you from the other side. So as it turns out, I've removed a fair amount of the root mass. All down through there. And I still think I need to trim more to get it in the pot. Well, I had a little change of plans because it was never going to fit in that pot, not without just destroying the bottom. So I had this one. This is larger. It's a little shallower, but it is wider. And so we're going to use this one. Look at that mess. Oh, I made a big mess. I'm gonna have to clean this up afterwards. But it's in. So there's our remaining root ball. I thought this was gonna be a 30-40 minute project. It turns out to be all morning. It's about a third as heavy as it was, but we got into a nice little training pot. It's a real loose mix I put in there. And yeah, we'll let it grow this year, and maybe in next season or the year after, see if we can take it down a little smaller. So I think that's the beauty of YouTube. Here you are, you can learn from my mistakes, even as I learn from my mistakes. So there you go. See you in the next one, guys.